Would you like to know where to put a stop loss? Well, in today's video, that's what we're going to talk about, so let's get started. Hey folks, traders, Israel coming here for Vintageducation.com, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about where to place a stop loss. So, as you can see my charts right now, I'm actually eyeing up this potential trade, which is actually really interesting, but I thought it would be a really great opportunity for you to literally see firsthand where I decide to put my stop losses. So I've kind of done all my analysis now, and as you can see on the chart, all I'm thinking about now is where can I get an entry. So I've kind of highlighted, and this kind of highlights what I'm talking about. I've kind of highlighted this particular area. I've kind of done my analysis. I'm pretty confident that the market's going to move down. Now all it takes is now me looking at these time frames, 15 minutes, as you can see here on screen in the top left corner. Now all it matters to me now is literally finding an opportunity in this particular window. Okay, now obviously don't forget to subscribe to the channel below, and obviously hit the bell notification as well, so you get instant access and updates every time we produce a new video. Okay, so when we're highlighting this particular area, we've firstly identified that the market's moving down. I've highlighted this particular area, as you can see here, as a potential area to sell. So let's jump into where I'd put my stop loss on this particular opportunity if it actually pans out and I'm able to get in the trade. Alright, so as you can see here, I've highlighted this area, and just right from the back, I want to highlight these things here. Okay, so we've got one, okay, we have two opportunities in the last couple of hours where price has tried to come up and break above, and it hasn't been able to do so. That's one thing. Then, just to save us some time here, let's go all the way back here, and you can see price has been bouncing, and what does that do? That means there's an opportunity. Now the next thing we need to do is do this. Okay, so this area is about 15 pips and just a bit more, and I'm not going to talk about where I'd literally put a take profit. I'll save that for another video. Okay, but what we can see already, we've highlighted an area, and now we're getting into stop loss, and now we're going to be talking about risks. Now there's two ways you can determine risk. So there's two ways you can identify risk in a stop loss. The first way is to basically just, which I recommend to my students most of the time, is risk a certain amount and no more. So you take whatever your stop loss is, whether it's a 5 pip stop loss or a 100 pip stop loss, and you'll calculate what your risk is in regards to that amount of pips. The second way you can do it, and obviously you do that, and then you'd obviously have to get at least 3 to 1 on that trade. The second way you can do it, which is if you've got a more bigger account, so to speak, or I'll put it like this, if you're trading less than your max risk, another way you can do it is just identify how many pips there are going to be on a stop loss. In this particular example, there's going to be about 15 pips. So I can say, okay, you know what, I'm going to put a trade on 15 pip stop loss. I want to get at least 50 pips back. Okay, so I've got at least 3 to 1 in regards to pips, and I'm only going to suggest you do that if you're trading much lower than what your max risk potential actually is. Okay, so let's look at the chart here, and again, like I said, we've kind of highlighted this area. So what I do next when I'm putting the stop loss is I just put a line right on top and say, okay, you know what, this is where I want to trade from. Okay, this is where I want the stop loss to be, and you can see that's 131045. Now then I do another line, and I change this black because this is going to be potential entry area, and obviously this is all happening in real time, which is obviously always loads of fun. Okay, so as it stands, we're talking about 20 pips, so I'd need at least 60. Okay, so about here. So what I then do is I'd obviously open up an order, punch all this stuff in, .045, and away we go. Okay, enter the trade. I'll obviously set my target up and all that kind of stuff. And just to wrap up today's video, there's a couple of things you can do. Okay, so one thing you could do, let me just use this. So one thing you could do is you could say, okay, you know what, price has bounced these 2 times and hasn't gone above. So instead of using the top, what I'll do is I'll do this. I'll say, okay, you know what, let me just put a stop here. Or if you want to be extremely safe, you could say, okay, you know what, I want to put my stop loss just above, okay, all of these highs, okay, just to make sure that if price is going to go back and push back a little bit, that it doesn't stop me out on a stop hunt or anything like that. Now, just to wrap up today's video, this is the last thing I'll talk about, stop hunting. So bear that in mind when you're coming to take these trades, okay, because bear in mind, the market could move up quickly, stop you out, and then come back. So that's something you have to factor in when it comes to actually not only setting your stop loss, but at the same time actually taking the trade. You might say to yourself, you know what, I'm not actually going to enter this time. I want it to go there, drop a little bit, come back into the area before I take my trade, just to make sure I'm a bit more secure in regards to stop hunting, and now I'm able to take the trade without, in your opinion, a major risk of getting stopped out from a stop hunt. So that's it for today's video. Literally nice, short and sweet, under 10 minutes, literally showing you one simple way you can literally take trades and where to put your stop losses, and you can have some thinking behind what you're actually doing. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel below, hit the bell notification, and if you want to learn more about stop losses and take profits and actually finding winning trades the way I do it in a bit more detail, what I'm going to recommend is you head on over to freefoxworkshop.com for a free training I'm going to be holding today for you to attend, and you can learn more about how to trade the Forex market. And it'll be the first link in the description box as well for you to literally get your space. So as always, thanks and take care, and all the best for your Forex trading.